can you kick us off with some of the first things you look for when auditing an account from for a prospective client? I know that you do this for some of the largest clients we have. So can you share some insights?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you said to get nerdy, but I almost didn't want to get too nerdy where, at whatever level anyone on this phone or this webinar feels comfortable going into Google Ads and kind of poking around on their own. As you mentioned, I do a lot of audits, especially for, prospective clients, and 9 times out of 10, either the client doesn't own their Google Ads account to actually get in there themselves, or they've never logged in because they're just intimidated by poking around in the platform. So I kind of wanted to start off a little bit more higher level and just see things as simply as it can be in terms of like that initial audit. And, what are you looking at and what makes sense and what's aligned with your business? So first and foremost, I always say to look at the campaigns that are running. And if you can't make sense of how the campaigns are labeled, that in itself is a problem. You should be able to go in and see very clearly what's running and what have I spent this month on that particular campaign. So for example, you could have like trade right now, or acquisition is huge in the auto industry right now, just based on limited new inventory. So at this point, strategically, you should have a trade and or acquisition campaign running, as well as service, those business centers that might be outside of the new vehicle profit center. So that first and foremost is what's running actually accurately aligned to my business objectives in the moment. Lauren Sheridan mentioned earlier the ability within paid search to pivot quickly, and it makes sense to measure month over month. So that's the expectation that you should have, is that your paid search agency should be able to pivot quickly, create new campaigns, adjust budget behind those campaigns, again, based on your goals right now. So that kind of leads into the second point, which is, does my budget align with the individual campaigns? So let's say that, you have some new inventory. Obviously, it's not the number one priority within your strategy, but you do still want to get traffic for new inventory. If you're seeing that, 80% of your budget is going towards new inventory when you maybe have about 20% in stock than you usually do, that's probably not a good strategy, and you're spending money in areas that really don't make sense for your objectives right now. Last but not least is targeting. So I think we might have a visual in the PowerPoint for targeting, but essentially what you want to see when you look into your targeting for each campaign is you want to see these layered radii. You don't just want to see one radius around a particular location. You want to see these, perfect. There's little radii or, areas targeting specific cities in your PMA that you want to go after. The issue with what you're seeing to the left-hand side of your screen is if I want to make a bid adjustment in a certain location, because everywhere in my PMA is not created equal, I think we can all relate to that. I can't make any bid adjustments to be more or less aggressive with this strategy to the left. The strategy to the right, I can make tweaks and changes to bids in those particular locations that you're seeing covered, which again allows me to really be strategic with where I need to protect my PMA, or maybe where I can still have a presence, but save a couple of bucks.